ahead, folks, and get started. One thing I forgot to do, darling, you could probably help me with this. It'll probably upset Sue. But if you could find the cowbell, I would like to ring the cowbell from time to time in this presentation. And I forgot the cowbell. Um, Thank you guys for coming out today. And thank you for coming out in the middle of the pandemic and for coming all the times that you have come when the pandemic. I want to say something just to recognize the huge accomplishment of this group. And Jane is about to bring out here the chart. Most of you have seen it by now, but I want you to see it officially. This is the chart of what you all accomplished during the time since the end of February and the end of October. This is a total of 15,387 handmade masks that were given out. And I want to tell you that some of you are still a little crazy because Peggy Clark can't stop herself and brought in another 150 today. And there's several others of you who brought in masks today. So that this total is a low sum. We're close to 16,000 now. And if you haven't autographed the chart, please do before you leave today, because we're going to frame it and keep it in our little sewing room in there to remember the accomplishments that you all did, because it's something I would have never predicted. I think that when we first started, we thought maybe, we'll get a couple hundred masks maybe, and we got a few more than that. I want to recognize some of our partners today, but I want to show you what we have for the gifts, because I'm not going to be handing them to you because we're trying to do contact-free delivery of the gifts. Each of these bags has inside of it a gift bag, and inside the gift bag is one of these pictures. These pictures, and Jane's going to bring this over next. She's Vanna, Jane Vanna. This picture was published on March the 28th in the Democrat, and Nathan Archer was the freelance artist who drew this. And I reached out to him because I thought, well, we're probably going to be doing this a couple more weeks, and we're probably going to want to give these out to people. Would you give me some, or would you sell me some so that we could give them out as prizes? He sent me 20 of them to give out as prizes at no cost, which is really cool. And that's what's in your bag. So there's no need, when you get your bag, please don't open it up. Just take it home, sanitize it, whatever, because everybody's got the same prize, which I think are really cool prizes. All right. We have a few of our, hello, Commissioner, you're just in time.
Don't stop the mic now, please.
No. Come up to the front, please. This is Commissioner Rick Miner, County Commissioner, newly elected Chair of the County Commission, Leon County Commission, and a true friend of Sustainable Tallahassee. He has been supporting our organization for many years, and we've been trying to support him in the Meatless Monday project, not so helpful as I'd like that we were. And all of y'all need to pay attention. Meatless Monday, do without meat on Mondays. Would you like to say anything?
I didn't have, thanks, Peggy. I didn't have anything planned. I just wanted to thank everyone who worked on Rags to Bags. 15,000 face masks. That's incredible. That's really incredible. And really want to thank everything that Sustainable Tallahassee does. As you know, I mean, there's no issue that's more important and more impactful than addressing climate change. And it's all going to be done at the local level. So thank you all very much for everything you're doing. Thank you all very much for the face masks. We're living through some very trying times, but one of the things that really inspires me the most about this town is that we all care about each other. And time after time after time, you see examples of people from one part of town helping out another, and vice versa, wherever the need is. So thank you all very much for everything you all do. Appreciate it.
Also with us today is Commissioner. Look at me blanking on this. Commissioner Jack Porter from the City Commission, and she's here with us to support you all and to express her appreciation of what you've done. And earlier, Commissioner Diane Williams Cox came, but she had a conflict and had to leave early. So and Courtney Thomas from the mayor's office. Courtney's here representing Mayor Daley. Thank you. Are there any more than anyone else that I need to recognize? I think not. Okay. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Courtney, Jack, and of course, Commissioner Minor. All right. I want to lead off by recognizing some of our partners, and I want to tell you who these people are. That these are on your program. I don't know that it's in the exact right order, but I'd like to start with Amanda from the Big Bend Community Continuum of Care. And Amanda has asked me to say a few words about the impact of your mask and what a difference they made, because she was the first one. When we first started doing this, people were going, what if you get too many masks? What are you going to do? I go, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. From the very beginning, it was not a problem, because from the very beginning, Amanda said, however many you've got, we'll take, and we'll put them to good use. So, Amanda, you wanted to say a little bit about what the impact these masks have had.
Thank you, Peggy. So it's pretty amazing. I got pretty teary-eyed coming over here this afternoon, because what we do is we work with service providers in the community to provide direct service to people experiencing homelessness. And so this is all of our congregate living facilities. So you can imagine the panic that hit us when we have congregate sites where multiple people, hundreds of people are living, and we can't get access to masks. So the only way we were able to keep our positive COVID numbers low is because you guys jumped into action. I think I called my mom, Darlene, over there, and I said, I don't know what to do. I can't get masks. And, we have some very vulnerable people living in these facilities. And she's like, well, let me talk to a few of my friends. And by the end of that week, I had 150 masks in my hand and ready to bring to the shelters. Every week I picked up, and we kept everybody who we partner with supplied in masks for 2 months exclusively on what you guys were doing. We didn't get access to masks any other way until about 2 months into the pandemic. So we've only had about 8 positive cases from then to now, and this means housing, between 500 and 600 people a night in different settings. So you guys have truly saved lives. I was so impressed about how you were able to jump into action, create this whole distribution plan in no time. Thank you so much for what you've done for our community.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. And here's your thank you for us. And you picked one of these bags for you as our appreciation to you.
You guys, you've done so much already.
Hi. Doris, did I see you come in? Come up, Doris. Doris was representing the Mask for Class effort. Her partner was here earlier but had to leave. Those guys, how many masks have you guys gotten into the Leon County schools so far? 12,000 masks into the schools. And so from the very beginning, we were their partners, and so we wanted to recognize Doris, and Doris picked one of these bags for you, for your gift. I already gave Adrian hers.
Okay.
So, did you want to say anything?
Well, I'll make it brief. I just wanted to say thank you. This really started out with my friend and I as a conversation while we were walking, as we walk several times a week. We wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that we were able to provide masks to every Leon County school student that was in Title I schools, and we started with the elementary schools, and then we moved on to Title I middle schools and Title I high schools, and then we extended it to different Leon County schools. We've expanded it to some private and charter schools, and actually I have about 1,000 more masks to distribute out to schools in the Leon County area. So we're still in the process of making masks, and we're trying to save lives just one mask at a time. We all know that this project was a labor of love, and we thank you all for allowing us to be a part of it. And being in the healthcare profession as I am, I've seen firsthand how masks saves lives. So it's definitely something that we're going to have to live with. I don't know how long, but I know we need to just buckle down and get used to it.
The last person, I don't know, is anybody here from the church yet? Those poopies. Teresa. Teresa's my friend and our partner from the Power of Life Foundation. Teresa is one who's made to get your mask global, not quite global, but at least Southeast wide, regional. The Power of Life Foundation is a sponsored drive-throughs. The first one that we participated in was out here at the fairgrounds, right here in Leon County. And there was, how many did we give out that day?
Over 10,000.
10,000, not 10,000 of ours. We only had a couple thousand there.
Combination.
But we were getting masks from Birmingham and from other people who were sewers. So we were able to give out 10,000 masks there. Subsequently, they've had drive-throughs in Birmingham, Gretna, was it Gretna? Or Quincy. And now, this Saturday, they're going to be doing a big drive-through in Jacksonville. And I'm supposed to remind everybody that Teresa's still looking for volunteers to go to Jacksonville to work on the drive-through at Jacksonville, and she'll pay your hotel and gas if you'll go. So if you get up with her, she would love to have somebody come and help do that. Right? For green shirts. Green shirts are people that can help. So if you can help her with that, she would love to have that. I think we have probably given about 5,000 masks.
I think it's way more than
You think it's more?
I do.
I don't want to brag more than, but
Way more than that.
in fact, it probably is, because today we have 1,500 that are in the closet in here that she's going to pick up to take to Jacksonville. And those are the masks that you guys are bringing in, including Peggy, the ones you brought today, are going to go to Jacksonville to be distributed Saturday. Right. So, Teresa, do you want to say anything?
Sure. First of all, thank you, Sustainable Tallahassee. I was reaching out. My executive director is a Birmingham Police Department officer, and he was trying to figure out ways to bridge the gap with the community and the police department because of everything that's been going on around the country. And he noticed that there were people on his beat, in his precinct, and they didn't have masks. And it was like, we're hungry, we can't afford it. And so I reached out trying to find masks. I found a huge group in Birmingham, and they start sewing masks for us. And I was like, well, I need something locally. And Barbara Westcott, is she here? She recommended me to Peggy, and Peggy allowed me. I work for FAMU, FSU College of Engineering. Peggy made it possible for us to give 3,500 masks to Florida State, to their medical clinics around town. One of the physicians couldn't get in PPE. She made it possible for me to give another 1,000 or 2,000 masks to FAMU FSU College of Engineering, and another 1,000 to FAMU COVID testing site. And then the 10,000 over there at Leon County Farm Share. Said it was the biggest event we've ever had. And now Farm Share signed on. They follow me throughout the state of Florida as a food bank so we can feed people at the same time. We're going to do that in Jacksonville this Saturday. We're taking 15,000 masks to Jacksonville. Right now, we've given out over 88,000 masks and over 100,000 pounds of food in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. Our goal was, thank you. And I say this, we're a small 3-person self-funded nonprofit. We do not have grants. We are a 501c3. And we've been really blessed. Our idea started with 400 masks, and we thought if we could flatten the curve in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama, the Southeast United States, somebody small like us, and make an impact, that we maybe could do something. And we've noticed up to a 30% decrease in each of the cities that we have gone to before school started. So thank you. Starting next year, we're going to do a college tour, and we're hopeful that the color beautiful masks that we've been afforded will help us. So we've had a lot of partners, the Jesus Christ Church of Latter-day Saints all over America. NoraGardner.com, who's a fashion designer in New York City and makes business clothes. Sustainable Tallahassee, and I give them love and support at every event that we have because they've been there for us. And Peggy has never told me no. She started me out with a lone sewing machine. I made 50 masks myself. Where's she? Pam gave me patterns, and I was able to learn I can make masks. So I make masks as well. We have women all over the country, and they're sitting at their machines and they're sewing, and they bless us. and we asked them to give us 50 masks a month. And I'm trying to get my number up to 100, get 50 masks a month. We're hitting in the second wave, and we ask you guys for your prayers. And as long as we can go until the masks are gone, we'll be there. Thank you so much.
There are people who still want to keep making masks, even though we're not going to be doing it. Are you still interested in having people sign up to make it?
Very interested. When I say self-funded, we also purchase material and thin thread and elastic to people around the country that want to sew for us, but they don't have the ability to purchase material. We've done that as well. That's what we do with any donations that we get. We put it back. We don't have a salary for either one of us, me or the executive director. And we also put in our own money every month to help fund our nonprofit. So thank you guys.
So if any of you would like to help with the 50 masks a month, please get up with Teresa before you leave today and sign up how you can help. And pick one of these bags for you. All right, thank you. I want to give a couple of special things besides these partners. I want to recognize Mike Mitchell, who I don't know where he went. There he is. Mike's over here. Mike is the president of Sustainable Tallahassee, and he is today acting as what I would call a servant leader by stepping forward to do the videotaping for us because it needed to be done, and he saw that it needed to be done, and he stepped up and says, well, I'll do it. So that's why he's not standing up here. He's behind the camera, and we appreciate him for all the support that he's given during this time. I also want to recognize Nathan Archer, but I don't think he's actually here. Nathan is the guy who drew these pictures, who drew the artwork that you're receiving in your packages, and who donated those to us so that we could give them out as prizes today. And that was a really huge thing. When he gave them, as you saw, that cartoon appeared on March the 28th. And I figured we'd be giving out these prizes probably in maybe May at the latest, because this would all be done with. Well, you see what happened. But it's wonderful that, and it's a surprise. Randy, you are here. I got to double back for you. It's a miracle that they survived at my house all this time, and they're still good to give out. So one of our partners, Randy Zapp, is here from Faith Presbyterian Church. Randy, come up here. I want to give you our thank you. Some of you guys, any of you guys who sew in this building know Randy, or you should, because he's the one that makes sure that he was the one that when we were looking for a home, Randy said, well, we'll make it happen. He has never, again, like Teresa said, I never said no to her. Randy's never said no to us, and that's kind of amazing for as many things as he's asking for. He's always kept the building clean, kept us what we needed, and has been he's been our lifeline. And a lot of times when we needed things done here at the church. And so I have one of these for the church that you may want to hang up somewhere in the church office. So thank you, Randy.
Thank you very much.
I also want to thank Bob O'Leary, who's here. I called him like just a few days ago and asked him if he could help do still photographs for us. He volunteered to do it for us, and he's going to take pictures of each of you as you pick up your awards, and he's going to give it to me on a flash drive so that you can have copies of them later when you want them. Again, volunteering is help to us today. Thank you, Bob. Karen Woodall volunteered the sound system because we didn't have one, and so she's not here, but I'm very glad that she did that. Now, there's also a few Sustainable Tallahassee board members here. Jack Dieselhorst is here, and I just told you about Mike, and who else is here? That's Jane and Jerry, both over here, all Sustainable Tallahassee board members who've been supportive of our effort through this time. I want to tell you how these awards are going to work. I showed you the awards, and there's no tricky stuff. I saw Teresa, she jumped ahead of me, but I'm asking you not to open your award packages here because, again, we're trying to be cognizant of the pandemic, and we don't want to contribute to anybody getting sick. So what I want you to do is to take your award, and I promise you they're all basically identical. Take your awards, take them home, sanitize them however you sanitize things at your house before you use them, and you're going to pick them up from the table and just
let Bob take your picture.
Let Bob take your picture and just move along. Thank you, man. Okay, I want on the rags to bags recognition. I want to do this by telling you a story. And you know those old songs where you'll say, when you hear the word cow, you go boo boo, you know, or when you hear chicken, you go what? Well, this isn't exactly like that, but it's sort of like that. When you hear your name, come up here, pick up your award, and stand by me, okay? And then at the end, we're going to give the picture, a group picture of the rags to bags people. Also, when you come up, get your card because everybody's got a card.
You want me to hand this up?
Yes, yes, I do want you to do that. I need help. I always need help. I always need help. And I'm usually going, nobody's helping me. All right, let me give you a little bit of background. Someone mentioned the fact that we were able to pivot quickly to this project. The reason we were able to do that is because for several years, probably 5 years, Sue will remember better than me, we have been meeting in this building right behind you and making bags. The bags were similar to these, except not embroidered, but they were made to be reusable shopping bags. And every year, we would give away the bags. That's what we did. That was our mission. And most years, in the last 3 years, we would give out at least 3,000 bags a year. We would give out 1,000 at the Lemoyne Art Show, and then the other couple thousand, anybody asked, we would give them to. We used donated fabric, donated machines, volunteer time, donated space, and so we were able to give these. Our idea was to show people you don't have to use plastic bags to go shopping. So, and we thought that was a cool thing to do. We had a lot of fun because we'd meet every Thursday afternoon. Well, time passed, came February of 2020. Sue Hansen, we're supposed to go, whoop, whoop, come up here. Sue Hansen came to the group and said that she had a relative who was working in a medical field and who couldn't get masks. And she said, the relative reached out to her and said, is there anything you can do to help? And so Sue brought that to us and we said, well, sure. I mean, this is Darlene's always response. Of course we can do that. And so a group of people, including Pam, Peggy Alley, Lynn Garrity, and Darlene, met the following week. This is like the end of February now, and put together a pattern and a process for making these masks. Our idea was that we would do it the same way that we had done the bags. We would meet every Thursday and we'd make masks. Well, pretty soon it became evident that our capacity was not going to be very great if we tried to make them ourselves, especially when they started asking me to make masks, which was a bad idea. So we said there's got to be a way to get these things out to the community so that we can use more people than us to do this. And we saw that Joanne's, I've lost my little kid though, that Joanne's, that Joanne's was giving out kits. If you guys remember that, the first of this pandemic, they were giving people a kit to make a mask. And we said, well, hell, we can do better than that. And so we started putting together kits to make masks. And you saw how the chart goes. We put the word out and said, anybody who wants to come drive through here, we'll give you a kit to make 10 masks, or we'll give you 10 kits, or however many kits. No, I want to switch my business. However many kits that you think you can use. And we're not going to say, you got to bring them back to us. If you can get them out in the community, that's fine. But if you can make more than you know people that need them, bring them back and we'll figure out somebody to give them to. Well, that's how it started. So by the time it ended, we had over 200 people on our list of drive-thrus. Every Thursday, people would come through, drive through, pick up masks, and would bring back masks. We had, during this time, the other volunteers, the drive-thru got more complicated, and so more people came along. That includes Jane McElroy and Jerry Winkleback, they mostly did the drive-thru stuff that people could, some of you have seen them. I want some of you to see some of these masks before you leave. If you haven't seen them, well, I'll talk more about these later, but I'm going to put them out here where you can see them. So as of now, Mike Mitchell, and the one thing that we came up with, Mike and I were talking. He said, there's some people who don't really want to be out of their house, even to come to this, because they're really terrified of being out in the public. What can we do? I said, well, here's a cool thing. We've got an electric vehicle club. Let's set up the electric vehicle club to do EV pickups from their houses and take them kits to their houses. And so it evolved to being Tesla pickups. And so Mike and a FSU student who also had a Tesla named Macaulay Mascarenas would take names of people and their addresses and go take them kits and pick them up, which I think is really cool. And resulted in several hundred masks being done by people who never had to come in at all. So somehow I have more masks. You guys didn't pick up your things. What I want to do is I want Bob to tell me how to get pictures of these people with their mask and their bags. You don't have their bag. No. Has everybody got their bag? Is there anyone else? Kathy, I left you off. Kathy and Sandy. Kathy made the bags that I just handed out to our special partners. Kathy is our major server person. And Sandy made the produce bags, which I've now lost. These produce bags that are part of what you can take home today. And so this is the R2B team. And I want to tell you one other thing. This is not the entire R2B team. There are some people who are on the R2B team who chose not to take part in the mask initiative. And that's cool. But these are the R2B team members who are part of the mask initiative. And I would really appreciate you all giving them a big hand.
Oh, yeah. Direct the spot. Where do you want it?
Yeah, I want you to back up into the little horseshoe. That's good. Now, y'all come forward a bit. Come forward just a bit. I want to get the table and the little line of people. This is great. Now,
keep your horseshoe, move forward.
Hold your bags like this so we can see those. Oh, terrific. Excellent. Okay, here we go. We even got the steeple in the background, so Jesus is looking on.
All right.
Lovely. You have it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. And by the way, these bags were all made from a tablecloth that was donated to us because it was a catering company that saw some stains, but I know my R2B people who won't mind having a few little stains. Yes, go away now. All right, Pam, no, wait, I want you to help me.
Yes. You want to speak first?
All right, we're going to have a 2-minute intermission.
Okay. We have 2 restrooms inside if you need a restroom down the central hall, the back left and the second back left. And they have hand towels that you use, you put in the correct bin, and a volunteer will take them home and wash them and disinfect them. So stay green. Talk quietly amongst yourselves.
Okay, this is what you came from. This is what you came for. I want to recognize the people who did this work. And I'm going to call you up and I'm going to ask you to come and pick out one of these bags and stand over here because there's not that many of you who are here for this group. The first group are the people who made more than 300 or more masks, up to 499 masks. And some of them are not able to be here today. So Renetta Fender, Andrea Ben, Jacqueline Gonzalez, Jacqueline's going to have to take hers, Sally Robinson, Mary Lee was already here and had to leave early.
I'm listening already.
Thank you. You guys, thank you. Okay, you guys, did you get a picture of them? How do you want to do it?
Let's just do a group shot. What do you
Okay,
think? Oh, okay.
that's
Here
it.
we
That's
go.
the whole
Yeah.
group, but the others cannot be here today.
Excellent. Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Hold up our bags.
Wonderful. Got the bags in it. Okay, now smile. Just kidding. You got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Goodness.
All right, now coming up, the Presnell family. Okay. Linda Gaius, who's been here waiting patiently. Mary Janet and Claudia Nelson. Mary.
Claudia. Mary.
Mary Janet.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies, side by side. Oh, good step. You got it.
All right.
Here we go.
Those pictures.
Okay, shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, really tight. Okay. This is lovely. Hold your bag up so I can see it there. That's the gift. There we go. Terrific. Okay, ladies, this is lovely. You have it. Thank you.
Okay, the last two people who are going to get awards are real superstars. And one of them didn't know how many she had, and the other one knew to the mask how many she had. Reedy Marchese did over 1,000 masks and had to have her grandson tell her that she had done that one. She wasn't keeping count, but that's kind of amazing. Granny, here's your.
Oh, thanks. I can pull it around. Oh, sorry. My bad. There you go, Reedy.
Thank you so much. And finally, our superstar, Katie Clark. Yay! Katie, every day when Katie showed up, she made our count respectable. Her final total, which I know is under a count still, was over 4,000 masks, including 150 that she brought in today. And that does some of hers.
Remarkable. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to touch it. Remarkable.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So one of the really impressive things about what Katie did was that a number of these masks, and I'm not sure all of these got counted in the total, but were masks that were made with a see-through panel for people who are hearing impaired and for their people who work with them. And I will tell you that they were not fun to sew, and that she made over 300 of those for FSU as part of that 4,000, or maybe in addition to the 4,000 that she made, which is a huge thing that we were able to do that no one else was able to do.
Wow.
So,
They were a monster.
Absolutely wonderful.
Side by side.
Tremendous.
Shoulder to shoulder. Here, side by side.
next to each other.
Good job. There we go. Yeah, let's hold those bags up. Delightful. Okay, ladies, here we go. We'll take 1,000 pictures of you. Thank you.
Presnell,
Thank you.
you got skipped. Come and get yours. Oh, well, we're not going to tell
Indisposed.
Yeah, you said a 2-minute break. I'm like, okay.
Okay. The Presnell family was kind of cool because it turns out that it really was a family experience for them. And they were in the, according to our numbers, they had 790 masks. And her husband was a partner, her son, her daughter, so that the whole family was working together to make the mask for
Wonderful.
us.
Thank you.
Those are the award winners. I want to say just a few things, just a couple of things. I want to thank all of you who supported us through this whole time. This has been a long spring, summer, and fall. We will not be meeting again until
until the pandemic lets us meet again. We hope it'll be early in the spring. All of you that are on our mailing list, I will let you know when things start to pump up again. When we meet again, I do not expect we'll be making masks. I expect that we will be back to making our bags, which is where our hearts are. So any of you who would like to be part of our sewing group on Thursday afternoons, making bags, we'd love to have you. And what we're going to do after we finish, which we're almost finished right now, is that Pam and Liam are going to go inside our little area there and invite anybody who would like to see what it looks like where we sew, because it's pretty impressive, I think. You're welcome to come in and see what it looks like and see what we do. Now, after you came out, after we finish, I would like for you to go out to the front, out by the road, and there's some stuff, some goodies, some merch, as the kids say, and that includes posters, produce bags, gift bags, and dishcloths. Please take as many as you would like to stuff your bags. We decided not to stuff the bags with those because we didn't know who wanted what. But you have bags, you can pick up that stuff and stuff them in your bags and take them with you with our pleasure. That concludes our program, except that I would like for us to close with a prayer. We are a non-denominational, we are not a religious organization, but it's come on my heart that I would like for us to join in prayer today before we leave. Please join me if you will. Heavenly Father, thank you for all the good people, both those here today and those who are not here, who stepped into the face of this pandemic and used their talents to push back against it. Thank you for the love and fellowship we've experienced. Thank you for the vaccine that may soon make all this sacrifice no longer necessary. As we leave to go about our business day, please be with us in our travels and throughout the holiday season. Amen.
Amen.
Love you guys.
Thank you.